is true. And I think it does. When you say I want to make millions of dollars a year, there are those blocks, as you said, deep below that manifestation is the
girlfriend who broke up with me that I thought I was going to get engaged with, but I was able to look at a picture of her with the new guy and be totally...
Every relationship is going to fail except the one that's meant to work, right? And that's how it's intended. That's a beautiful thing.
And even that one doesn't always work.
When it comes to love and emotional vulnerability, it's definitely it's easier for me to want to just be like, oh, this doesn't feel good, run. Welcome back to another episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and on today's episode, I am sitting down with Dr. Matty K. He is a energetic healer, former chiropractor. He has done work on me that has absolutely blown my mind and helped me manifest more and just have a more relaxed vibration. He is an unbelievable guy. We talk about manifestation, blocks, vibration, all the good stuff to help you have the tools to get what you actually want out of life. You are not going to want to miss this episode. We will be right back after this brief break with our guest, Dr. Matty K. Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life. Okay, we are back with our amazing guest. We've got Dr. Matty K in the studio. Welcome. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to have you on because I'll tell a little backstory. I was at a Halloween party this year and somebody said to me, oh my God, you have to go talk to that guy. And I said, why? And they said, you just have to go talk to this guy. And so I go up to you and I introduce myself and somebody said, oh, he's an energetic healer. He removes blocks and things of that sort. And I said, oh, I immediately ran up to you. I introduced myself and you said, what are you blocked with? And I said, there are some big financial goals that I feel I'm struggling with. And you, in the middle of a Halloween party, I'm dressed as a ninja, you're dressed as like a priest. You put your hand...
I was actually dressed as Dr. Strange.
Oh, it's Dr. Strange. Okay.
But a lot of people thought I was a priest.
You put your hand up and you held my shoulder and you did this energy thing and I started to fall back because of the energy and you were like, done. And it was amazing how with your hand, you were able to create that much force to where I was falling back. And it was just unbelievable. And you're like, that's what I specialize in. And then I came to your place. So let's talk a little bit about your background. I know you were a chiropractor, but then how did you realize you had the gift of energetic healing with your hands?
Well, growing up, I was no different from anyone else. I mean, I know people who say, oh, when I was young, I would see spirits and none of that. If you had told me like senior year of college that I would be doing what I'm doing now, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with senior year of college. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I was applying for medical schools. I had a horrendous experience in the hospital. And then like even walking by a hospital made me nauseous. I was like, how am I going to be a medical doctor if I get nauseous looking at a hospital? So then I love psychology. But I went to chiropractic school thinking I would be a psych chiropractor afterwards. And still dealing with Crohn's disease, 7 years Crohn's disease, 5 medications daily, hospitalized at least once a year, 2 surgeries. After getting out of chiropractic school, to me it was kind of crack, pop, heat pack, ice pack, 15 minutes, next person, 3 weeks, I was bored. But I fell into applied kinesiology, which kind of puts everything together. The muscles, the organs, the emotions, nutrition. And I was able to take care of my Crohn's disease on my own. I got off all medications.
Wow.
I use supplements. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. Realize the importance of stress when it comes to Crohn's disease. And knock on wood, it's been 25 years, and I've only been hospitalized once. That was for observation for three days, and I've been off medications for 25 years. I never say I can cure anyone. The only thing cured is ham, maybe on Easter Sunday. But, for me, applied kinesiology did it. It also, I didn't have to go for a PhD in psychology because within applied kinesiology was the emotional realm of things, psychological realm. I had social anxiety too. 2004, I was reading The Wisdom of Forgiveness by the Dalai Lama, and I plugged in on Google letting go. And there was a Barnes & Noble right below my apartment. And out popped the Sedona method. So I went downstairs, I got the book, and that was all about releasing and letting go. 2008, and then I learned some other techniques, TBM, which is like an offshoot of applied kinesiology in a way, but basically pushing the body's buttons for both physiological, and emotional kind of amelioration or relaxation and betterment of problems, for lack of a better term. 2008, I went through a really traumatic experience, which I'm not going to get into. But I was devastated. I didn't know my name. And I said, well, I have all the tools. I mean, I needed something. I basically spiritually imploded.
Yeah.
And I used all my tools. I created an emotional technique. I became I sat on the board for applied kinesiology. I gave 6 presentations at their conferences, created my own emotional technique and one of the things was, this was like the really lesser of the 2 major things that happened in the same day. But it was a girlfriend who broke up with me that I thought I was going to get engaged with. Yeah. And basically I said, and then she got with her ex who she got married to, which was fine, meant to be. But basically I would put her picture with the new guy on the computer screen. And the goal was I had the same reaction looking at her and the new guy as if I was looking at a blade of grass, which is completely neutral.
Wow.
No ill feelings, no good feelings, just neutral. It's a blade of grass. That's it.
Okay.
And I was able to use my techniques, and now I call it the ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-spouse exorcism. And I used it on myself again recently. But I was able to look at a picture of her with the new guy and be totally neutral, no reaction whatsoever. And at a certain point, a friend came up to me, "Oh, hey, I just want to let you know so and so is engaged." Oh, okay, good for her. It was the same as if I just want to let you know that it's going to rain tomorrow. Okay.
That's great, because so many people, I feel like, hold on and try to, in breakups, because I did this 10 years ago, and you keep replaying things thinking you can change them. And you keep this like little sliver of hope alive, which actually keeps you stuck as long as you keep that hope alive. So you're able to kill the hope. That's what you have to do. You have to shut that door and burn that shit to the ground.
I don't like using the word hope because hope implies doubt. When you hope something's going to happen, there's some aspect of doubt. Because if there was no doubt, you wouldn't have to hope. Yeah. So for me, trust. Trust is going to happen.
No,
but nothing.
Okay, that's a good point, because it comes to people always say, I hope I get this apartment. I hope I get this house. I hope I get this, whatever it is. But you're right, there is doubt. And if you have an ounce of doubt, you can't manifest, which we're going to go into next.
And never limit yourself to the one specific outcome. Instead of, I hope for this apartment, I trust I'm going to get this apartment or something even better.
I like that. There's something, but that's the key.
But at the time with that whole devastation, there was also a lot bigger thing going on in my life. And at that point, I became basically a virtual Doctor Strange. Yeah. I was going to change reality. And then I went totally metaphysical. I started studying all these different techniques from different cultures over different time periods. And I learned, especially when it comes to like manifesting or just changing your life in any way you want, a lot of people like positive affirmations. If it works for you, fine. But to me, it's like putting a smiley face on the tip of an iceberg. Because, I'm going to manifest like a red Ferrari. Okay, well, what is that red Ferrari? But now let's look under the surface at the big iceberg. So what does that Ferrari come with? Oh, it comes with I'm going to need a lot more money. And that with a lot more money, I'm going to have to work longer and harder and not see my family and not do what I want to do and not get into the gym and not watch this and I won't have a life. And I remember when I was younger, my parents, they had all these fights about money, more problems. So when you do those positive affirmations, again, it works for some people if they're clear. But if they're not clear, if they have some type of underlying pattern, it's going to bring all that up with it. You can't just say, I want the red Ferrari without everything else that comes with it. So you're going to manifest all those problems too. There are breaks or blocks in you that say, oh no, we're not going to let you do that because then you're going to get all these problems. So you got to eliminate the interference first.
You just nailed that. I mean, you just blew me away right here on camera. Like it is true, and I think it does. When you say I want to make millions of dollars a year, there are those blocks, as you said, deep below that manifestation is the, what if I invested the wrong way, or what if my family takes it, or what if I expected to pay. There's different things that can happen.
Or even
for
the
people
I've
that
never
block
made
them.
$1 million. Like, why do I think I'm going to make $1 million now? So you're actually now manifesting the reverse, that you're not going to make, even though you're like, I'm going to make money, you're manifesting that you're not going to make money.
I want to talk about that, because when people talk about manifesting, they talk about manifesting what they want. But what people don't realize is how powerful we are as human beings, as energetic forces, that we can actually, what you just said, manifest everything we don't want. I think I might have manifested every breakup I've ever been through, now that I'm talking to you. Now that you just said this to me, because you want to protect yourself from the worst possible outcome. So sometimes in the past, I would worry about things happening, or I'd play this scenario in my head so I was prepared for when it eventually ended. And I think a lot of people do that. And looking back, I now realize that I just manifested that outcome
And
by worrying about it not working out.
worrying is, so I'm a Sedona Method coach. It's one of my many different things that I do. And Hal Dwoskin, the author of the Sedona Method, told me once that worrying is manifesting what you don't want.
It is. To explain what the Sedona Method is, because I do not know what that
Sedona Method is a mental process of kind of like self-inquiry, of letting go and releasing. And then what I did, I kind of take all my different techniques and tools and I hybridize them. So I took Sedona Method and I use a physiological way to kind of just, tap on certain points while they think of something.
Yeah.
And it's also, it can get a little Buddhist in some ways, where basically it's like, what do you want? Oh, I want, since you talk about heartbreak, okay, I want a relationship. Well, is that coming from a want of control, a want of security, a want of approval, a want of oneness? Oh, a want of oneness and a want of approval. Okay, well, now I have to let go of the wanting approval, let go of the wanting oneness, because basically when you want something, you lack it. If you don't lack it, you won't want it. So when you say I want something, you're basically saying I lack it. So it's like you hold out two hands, and in one hand you want whatever. I want, let's say, money. I want money. And in the other hand, you have money. You can only pick one. Would you rather want money, or would you rather have money?
Have money, obviously.
Then you have to open your hand and let go of the wanting. Now that's
so when people don't have what they're trying to, how do they trick their mind into being in the having?
Well, let's tie this into money, because you really have to get to what you really want. Like, okay, so sometimes people will pay me in like $100 bills.
Yeah.
And then I go to the bodega and they don't take the $100 bill. And then the $100 bill is totally worthless until I can get to a bank to either deposit it or change it. Or maybe I'm lucky enough that some store accepts it.
Or you spend enough.
And then maybe I start worrying, well, what if it's counterfeit? Because that happens now.
Yeah.
So maybe I have a stack of 10 $100 bills, but if no one takes it, they're worthless.
Right.
So do you really want money? No, you want what money gets you. So I'm going to use an example too. So, but going back to 2008, the really traumatic experience and all that stuff was going on. And actually, now fast forward a couple of years. So I'm on the board, applied kinesiology, but still dealing with the effects of all this devastation stuff, because it was like a 7-year role. Oh. So I'm supposed to speak at a conference, present my work, and I'm a board member. I have to be there.
Yeah.
But money was really, really tight, and I needed to it's not that I needed the money, I needed the hotel, right? So a friend of mine, hey Matt, I'm kind of strapped for cash. Would you consider being roommates in a hotel? Okay, hotel just got in half.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm on the board, so little did I know I got a little check for that.
Yeah.
And I got a daily stipend, so I didn't have to worry about paying each day. And then it turns out, because I was a speaker, I got the conference at like half price.
Oh.
And then I had, I told a couple of my patients or clients about it, and one of them said, "Oh, you can have my air miles." Boom! I had the whole thing. I had the hotel. I had the airfare. I got everything. I didn't need money. I got what I needed. I didn't need the money. I needed the hotel. I needed the airfare. I needed the spending money.
So you're saying when people are saying I want or I'm trying to manifest more money, they need to get clear on what that money is going to do for them.
Unless maybe they work in the stock market.
Because it's going to buy freedom, a house. Yeah. Freedom's the key, right? Money is, as you were saying, like money's useless unless it works, right? It's an exchange of value. Well, but what it gets you.
Freedom might be the key for you and me, but for other people, money might mean status. It might mean getting them. So, for example, I do one exercise with people where I say, and I got this from the Sedona method.
Okay.
What is your heart's deepest desire? It's one of my favorite Sedona method exercises. And I give an example, like, someone says, I want to buy a boat. What does the boat get you? Oh, well, I'm going to have big parties.
Lots of naked women.
And my friends are going to come and they're going to bring their friends. And then what happens? Well, I'm going to form deeper bonds with my friends. I'm going to meet a whole lot of new people and maybe naked women. So what started off as money really has nothing to do with money. It's all about connection for that person. Mm-hmm. And whenever I would do this exercise, and I did a lot during COVID, I would come up with, no matter what I said, it was always about, it came down to two things, security and connection.
Yeah.
Whether I wanted love or money or, a new apartment or this or that, it always came down to security or, for me, connection.
So once you figure that out, how does it change your process of manifesting?
Well, for me and for let's say the everyday person, it's different because I have these techniques which I use to help people.
But for people that are listening right now that are like, I've been doing vision boards, I've been reading the books, I've been going to seminars, I've been listening to Madison Malloy, but I still can't seem to manifest exactly what I want.
It's all about eliminating the static, eliminating the interference. So basically that's what my work does, whether I'm doing applied kinesiology or TBM or Sedona method, or I'm doing energetic consciousness techniques like the works of Dr. Hector Garcia or holographic kinetics, or I'm doing the tuning forks or the magnets. It all comes down to eliminating blocks, eliminating interference, and then you become clear. And
so how do people know that they have interference and blocks?
That's the thing. A lot of times they don't. So I'm going to give you an example. There's a thing called samskara in the yogic tradition. So, this guy, say he's driving down the street, and it looks like his girlfriend is in her car. Let's say it's a green Toyota Corolla. And looks like she's hooking up with this guy. So, end of the day comes, he's home. He doesn't mention it. Girlfriend doesn't mention anything. Everything seems okay. 3 months later, they break up. 5 years later, he's married. He's got a wife or husband. And they've got kids. His whole life is totally changed. And he's driving, and he's got the radio on. And his wife is in the seat. And he sees a green Toyota Corolla. Approximately the same year.
Okay.
And it doesn't register to him, oh, that was my ex-girlfriend's car. But there is an emotional scar somewhere deep down there. And it gets it's a trigger.
Yeah.
And it gets activated, it gets triggered. And all of a sudden he's like, I'm in a bad mood and I don't even know why. And he's a little And he doesn't, and people will get in bad moods and well, I don't even know why I'm in a bad mood, but I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Something was triggered subconsciously. So sometimes you do know and sometimes you don't know. And there, I teach, I'm a breathwork instructor also.
Yeah.
So that will help. Sometimes I take them to shamanic levels, and sometimes it's just pulling things up from the past. And sometimes things will come up. I did it one-on-one with a person recently, and I said, who do you need to forgive? And afterwards, she said, oh, this memory of my brother came up, and it wasn't even on my radar. But after that came up and I forgave him, Like, honestly, I haven't thought about that in like 20 years. And she felt like she was
Wow.
floating afterwards.
That's true. We do hold the a lot of trauma and scars, especially like from childhood. Is kind of where a lot of our identity and our thoughts.
I think it was Tony Robbins who said mother, father, teacher, preacher.
Okay.
So basically, your parents, your teachers, and for those within a religious upbringing,
Yeah.
are the ones who kind of made the imprints. But then you also have in the metaphysical realm, you have like the past lives. You also have, it ancestral emotions will carry on for 7 generations. So I will combine the breath work with this thing called
Oh my
holographic
gosh.
kinetics,
Yeah.
which is Aboriginal Dreamtime healing, and I will combine the two.
Okay.
And so it'll bring up things. But for people who, because look, not everyone has the time to see me, not everyone has the money to see me.
Right.
I want to help as many people as I can, so I created an audio program called Magical Tuesdays.
Okay.
Where basically I'm doing just what we're talking about. Where basically we start off with some type of breath work to get clear.
Yeah.
And then we go, it's different each time. Sometimes I do guided meditation. Sometimes I might use heart math or Sedona method or mindfulness meditation. And basically we get them clear, and then we remove some type of block, and then we get to a place of, there's usually a motif, confidence, harmony, balance. And then from there, I'm also an instructor for theta healing, which is basically reprogramming belief systems.
Right, because those beliefs.
Energetically.
Yeah, I know it's like really starts with our belief. So what do you say to people, like obviously we're in 2026 now, and a lot of people, at the beginning of the year did a vision board. Mm-hmm. What's your thought on vision boards? I'm just
I
curious.
like vision boards. Personally, I don't do it. I know a lot of people who do. I know a lot of people who swear by them.
Yeah.
And actually, there was one time I did do it.
Okay.
Back in, I think it was around like 2006 or so. I was dating a girl who then broke my heart in 2008. But, I was like, okay, I'm getting into, so I was into Sedona method, and I went to my first Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within, and combining them with a total nightmare, which I'll tell you about. But I was make a vision board, and I didn't really make put it on a board. It was more like on the computer. I just like
a power, yeah.
I took a bunch of pictures and put them on a Word document.
Yeah.
But I was like, let's have fun. I want a house. I want to put like a waterfall, and let's have a pool overlooking the beach. Let's go all out. Why not?
Yeah.
I didn't really say where it had to be. I just this is gonna be it. It's having fun. Okay, so fast forward, and the girlfriend's parents invite us to their condo in Florida, and we pull up to the building. This huge, like gorgeous, complex building, whatever you want to call it, a condo thing, and pull up, and there's my waterfall. Like right, the fountain with the waterfall right in the beginning. And you look out their window, and there's the pool overlooking the ocean, exactly as I pictured it. And I was like, whoa.
Yes, you just don't know what form it's going to come in.
Yeah, right. That could be a problem too. So you got to watch your thoughts sometimes.
I think you have to watch your thoughts all the time.
Well, people think that thoughts create reality.
I'm one of those.
Thoughts create, you keep thinking something enough, it creates an emotional charge. Emotion, energy, emotion. It's the energy. So thoughts create emotion, emotion create energy. The energy then vibrates out, and that's your magnet.
Yes.
So,
So if you have a bad thought, just be like, that's not me, and release it immediately.
Well, I'm kind of going to two different places at once. So an example of a bad thought was I was, making a workout shake with my blender.
Yeah.
And the blender stops working. And I'm like, oh, man, I should have got a NutriBullet. No. I'm like, man, no, man. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, I know why that stopped working. Because I was just thinking, I was having bad thoughts. I was like, oh, I'm a fuck up. I'm behind where I thought I'd be at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And at the time, this is recent. I was doing 7 Kundalini meditations a day, total 2.5 hours meditation each day, not including break time. And I did it for 150 days straight.
Wow.
So this is towards the beginning, the first 30 days. And I'm like, no. I'm disciplined because I'm doing 7 meditations a day.
Yeah.
And then no one does that, but I'm doing that. Blender started working again.
Wow.
No joke, true story.
Okay, so I like that again. I wanna repeat that. You're like thoughts create your reality, which is my
Thoughts
belief.
create emotions, emotions create energy.
But I like
energy
how
attracts.
it's, yeah, so I'm just like scratching the surface and you're like, no, this is what's actually going on.
And there's a subconscious, which actually creates your reality.
So what about people, because everybody experiences this in some way, shape, or form, self-doubt.
Maybe if we have time, we will do a meditation to get rid of unwanted thoughts, and one that's perfect for beginners.
Okay. Well, we'll do that as a bonus at the end, so make sure you stick around till the end, because we are going to do this.
But you can create, yes, your doubts can create worry, creates what you don't want. And also what you have the energy attached to. So, this past summer, it seems like it's the breakup story right and left, but someone had ghosted me after a long relationship. And it was still in the ghosting phase before I knew it was over. So I was kind of fixated on that.
Yeah.
And I go to Central Park to meditate. And then 10 feet away from me sits this girl who's looks exactly a carbon copy of the person who's ghosting me, but half their age. And I'm like, wait, this is my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
The next day I go to the park, again, to meditate. So there are these 20 guys, and little did I know these 20 guys are going around in their Speedos, and they're wishing people happy birthday, singing happy birthday. But I didn't know that. And I sit down, and these 20 guys lift up the girl, and they start hoisting the girl on their shoulders, lifting her up and down, chanting her name. The name is the same person. It's the same name as the person who ghosted me. And I was like, no. I'm like, come on. But sometimes when you're clear, you also get messages, intuition. And sometimes it's intuition, but sometimes you just have to notice. So I went into a pizza place. And this pizza place is kind of to me, it's like Bumblebee from Transformers. It speaks through, Bumblebee was a transformer where it used the radio station. It would turn into a car, and would use the radio station to communicate. So this pizza place would play songs that would communicate to me. And I hear this Bocelli song that I haven't heard in years, but I love the song.
Yeah.
And then that night, I turn on the news. And the song that, again, I haven't heard in years, they're playing it in the White House because Bocelli is visiting the White House, and they're playing the song. The next morning, I'm in a cab. The song, again, I haven't heard the song in years. I've now heard it 3 times in a day and a half. I asked the cab driver, what's the name of this song? Time to Say Goodbye. As soon as he told me that song, I haven't heard the song since. That was the message.
That's amazing. Yeah. So it's and that's what they always say. There was a famous movie, I can't remember, but it just said, pay attention to the signs. The signs are all around you.
Don't pay too close attention, though.
Okay.
If you're trying to, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's just notice what you notice and certain things. Like when I go into this pizza place, what song? No, it's just if I happen to notice a song.
So let's talk about relationships, right? Because every relationship is going to fail except the one that's meant to work, right? And that's how it's intended. That's a beautiful thing.
And even that one doesn't always work.
Unfortunately.
Sometimes that relationship was meant to teach you something.
Yes, that's true. But as somebody who's suffered a lot of insecurity in relationships, I don't really do relationships. I'm definitely at a point in my life where I'm like, if I don't feel like this is somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with, I'm at an age where I don't have time to have a boyfriend. I either want to spend all my energy on my friends and family or with somebody I'm going to build a life with. So, but in the past, I would always go into relationships oh, when's it going to end? I naturally had this self-sabotage because I had this underlying belief that everybody would leave anyways. And I don't know where the fuck it came from. Luckily, I don't have it now. But now, I think maybe it's because I'm my age, 43, that my biggest fear is wasting my time. Because I don't have a lot of time, especially if it comes to the biological part of things. So how do I try to, as I am now going to a new city and I'm starting dating in a new pool, how do I relax but also follow my intuition so I don't waste my time and I manifest meeting that person quickly, if possible?
So that brings up an interesting example I'd like to share. So, we're talking about, your thoughts create your emotion, which creates energy.
Yeah.
You also manifest from your nervous system. It's not just like from
which
your
hasn't
mind.
been regulated in years because with COVID and with I've always felt like, you know, as I was building my career all these years, I've never been in a living situation that it was always a temporary pit stop, right? It never really felt like home. And then COVID happened. I moved home with my parents. Even though it was home, it was still a different situation. And then I came back at a temporary place. But I've always not hated, but like have never been comfortable in my living situation for the last like 8 years. And I feel like because of that, my nervous system hasn't been able to
So
relax. So I'm hoping this new environment is going to really change that for me.
So with some people, it's, you know, they're manifesting, like they're doing these like loving affirmations,
Yeah.
manifesting, you know, their partner, but they're guarded. They're beginning guarded. Maybe they had some trauma early on.
I'm very guarded. I'm
and
extremely guarded.
Maybe they went through heartbreak and they have their radar, you know, they have their red flag defense.
Yeah.
So they're thinking, you know, they're walking around, you know, like I'm going to manifest, you know, my true love, my one and only, my happily ever after. But their nervous system is projecting, I'm guarded, stay away from me.
That's me. You're talking to me. Help me, Matty.
So there are different ways. Again, like recently, I've become more like into breath work, and I actually had the experience, especially after this last one ghosted me.
Yeah.
Where I'm in the breath work, and this breath work session was just breath work. It wasn't anything else. And I literally had a visual of like these green vines and branches. And I wasn't on mushrooms or ayahuasca or anything like that. I was totally sober.
Yeah.
And I'm doing breath work, and I had this visual of these green vines and branches kind of entwined in my heart, being ripped out. And it hurt like hell. Like emotionally it hurt.
Wow.
But afterwards, I was like, I'm free. And thinking about it, I was like, that was an attachment wound that was just ripped out. So there's that way. And then there's also like Dr. Hector Garcia's work. He's one of my main mentors. I love him to death. Can't say enough good things about him. Taught me an incredible amount. So between holographic kinetics and let's say the Garcia work, you can eliminate the interference that you're not even aware of. So I kind of go through a checklist.
Okay.
Do you want me to give you a quick example here? Or?
Yeah, like how can I? Because
I mean, like a standing up, like show and tell type of example.
We're on studio, so I have to stay in my position. But
Gotcha.
you know, I've heard from a lot of people, like even my like good guy friends that adore me. They're like, you're very guarded. You're very, and I'm I'm a very discerning person. I will not call somebody my friend until they've earned it. I feel that titles hold meaning. And, you know, I love everybody, but you're an acquaintance until you've earned that because I want my friends to that title to mean something, you know? But I am very, I've been burned. I do have a little bit of trust issues. So I'm very cautious of letting people in too close too soon, which I think is a good thing. But when it comes to love and emotional vulnerability, it's definitely it's easier for me to want to just be like, oh, this doesn't feel good, run. Just avoid it.
So tying that into your question before,
And I can't and I'm guarded. Like I don't know how to fully just.
So there are things that I call the basic life supports. When I say I call them, you know, this is like Dr. Hector Garcia taught me them, and Ewan method, which I learn and practice, which is based on like an ancient Shaolin technique, like passed down many centuries.
Yeah.
Also utilizes these. So you have money, that's kind of like what's in your pocket, what you have access to. Wealth, that's your big picture, portfolio. Relationships, health and fitness. Work, which is what you're doing now, career, big picture. Those are your basic life supports. Okay. So we're talking about relationships, but this can apply to any of those. So the relationship, everything should be neutral and in harmony, like in neutral harmony. So, and this also deals with when I work on people like physically applied kinesiology. Is it too much, not enough, or just right? So one of the meditations I practice, and we're going to circle back to the relationship thing, is called balancing prana apana. Prana is your life force. Yeah, I want more than that. I want more life force. Okay, but you need your apana, your eliminative energy. Because if you have too much prana, too much life force, anxiety, high blood pressure, your mind's racing.
Okay.
So you need that you need the balance.
Okay.
So with everything, too much, not enough, just right. So relationships, I would examine the relationship between you and the energetic relationship. You to relationships, relationships to you, both to the universe, together back to you. Where's the interference? So I find interference there. What level is it on? Physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, psychic, psychological. Psychological will be the tie-in between mental and emotional. So I look at those levels. Whichever level I find the block in, so now I go deeper. Is it caused by negative emotions, negative experiences, effects of either one? Is it caused by karma? What kind of karma? Is it caused by miasms, which is stored baggage or karma? Is it caused by astrological influences, by inherited issues, choices? Is it caused by triggers? Is it caused by other lifetimes? Is it caused by identity issues? Is it caused by imprints? So
Jeez.
I go through a whole list to kind of nail it, and then whatever it is, we just bring it. I don't do anything. I simply allow it to be done. It's done. I don't claim to do anything. So we allow it to be neutral. We allow it to be inverted, harmonized. And then once that happens, then that kind of opens, you're in the 0 point. When you're in 0 point, anything is possible.
Okay. So the key basically before we wrap up, the key to really like manifesting, and we're going to do a bonus meditation after this, so stick around after the closing.
Get neutral.
Get neutral. Because it's really your vibration, and stop using the word I want.
And vibration is
want
not,
and hope should be eliminated from our vocabularies.
I just want to make sure your viewers know that vibration does not mean happiness.
Okay. Explain real quick.
Vibration is what you're projecting out.
Okay.
So I will do a thing now. I've been reading Penny Pierce's book Frequency.
Okay.
And then I created this whole energy protocol based on it. And then I realized, wait a second, this is what I've already been doing. But now I understand it at a deeper level. But just like when I said you to relationships or you to money, so your home frequency to the first personal vibration that you're carrying right now, do they match up? Are they aligned? Oh no, there's a discrepancy. So let's bring you to your home frequency. You have an antenna, and that antenna is basically broadcasting your magnetism.
Okay. So for the listeners at home, driving, at the gym, that are all over the world, what would you give them? Say, here are 3 tips you can do today to start bringing in your manifestations faster.
The bonus meditation that we're going to do would be...
Okay, that's one. What
else?
That
would be one. Whatever way you want to, however way you can remain neutral. Sometimes, again, this depends on the person, go underneath the feeling. Imagine that the feeling is an ocean, you're going to the ocean floor. Ocean floor is nice and peaceful. Everything above it kind of evaporates.
Okay.
You can use, there's an NLP technique, Tony Robbins. I like to think of it as, so for your viewers, the movie theater technique. You picture your biggest fear in a movie theater, like IMAX, full color, surround sound. Okay, movie theater, you're in your favorite movie chair. Maybe it's your home theater. And then boom, it's black and white. Boom, it's a silent movie now. You're watching a black and white silent movie, your biggest fear. Imagine that you're slowly leaning back in your chair. As you lean back in your chair, the movie theater starts to move. The movie screen gets smaller, moves further away. You lean back in your chair. The movie screen gets smaller. You lean back further in your chair. The movie screen moves further away. Eventually, that movie screen kind of flies off, and there's no movie screen anymore.
So your biggest fear, but I feel like you could also do a movie screen with like the life you want to live, like.
Well, in that case, you won't be pushing it away. There's another.
You'd be pushing it. Yeah, you'd be.
There's another tone. I don't want to just kind of like regurgitate Tony Robbins techniques, but he has a whoosh technique for that, for the life. So for getting rid of fears, there's the movie theater technique. You could also find it in any like NLP book. It's kind of the 101.
Yeah.
And then the whoosh technique, which is both NLP and Tony Robbins. But again, there's being really neutral. So it's not about like.
And wanting creates angst.
So I mentioned before, I combined Sedona method and Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Sedona method is releasing, it's letting go. Like that in itself is great. That would be another go-to. That was my earliest go-to. So I went to this Sedona method. It was like a 2-week advanced conference. I came back. I was totally let go. Tony Robbins had his Awaken the Giant Within conference.
Yeah.
2 weeks after that, I'm like, okay, now I've erased everything. I'm totally clear. I'm going to go to Tony Robbins. I'm going to program myself. When you program yourself, you're working on the ego. When you release, you transcend the ego. You go into a state of non-duality, non-polarity. If you have polarity, then you're fixated on something. I want money. I don't have. So
okay.
But
So
when
really
you go
get
into
that
when
rid
you
of
go
that
into
word.
non-duality, you have no attachment to outcome. That's the other thing. When you're manifesting,
yes, law of detachment.
if you have attachment to the outcome, you need to have zero attachment.
I
Not
know,
like
that's
I
a
don't
key.
care.
Bob Proctor was
Not like I
talking
don't
that.
give an F, but
Yeah.
you just need to be like, okay. So for example,
You're going to be okay no matter what.
when I was doing all my meditations in the park, I would manifest like crazy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even trying. It was just kind of like, like I should do more like home visits because like I have like Wednesday afternoon free, and someone else is in the office, so like I should do like a home visit because like they pay a little more and I have the time. Boom, that night someone calls me up. Hey, I'm going to be in town. I know you don't work on Wednesdays, but can you give me a session at my hotel? Okay. And then there was a kid like 2 years old, a little toddler, barely walked, and it's about 30 feet away. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool, like, if the kid came over? And I'm thinking, I don't know how old your viewers are. In the 80s, they had the Mean Joe Green commercial where Mean Joe Green gave his jersey to, like, the dude in the hallway. And I was like, imagine that little kid came running over and stuck her arm out, and I gave her my bracelet.
Aww.
That'd be cool. Sure enough, at the end of my meditation, I opened my eyes. I had no contact with this kid or the family. Kid comes running over, like kind of like Frankenstein, running, stands at the foot of my towel, literally puts her wrist in my face.
Oh my God.
And I went like this, and I was like, yeah, if I put it on you and you bite it and you choke, it's on me. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But the main point is I wasn't like, this has to happen.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if that happened? And I didn't care if it didn't happen. Like, I didn't even think about it afterwards.
To kind of wrap that point up real quick is like
no attachment to outcome.
No attachment to outcome. And we are all master manifestors in some way, but some of us are manifesting what we actually want.
And never limit it.
And others are manifesting what we don't.
What they don't want. Yeah.
Okay. So where can people find you?
So I am, believe it or not, I am like way under the radar. No website. One of these days I'll catch up. Email would be the best.
Okay.
Matty K, Mattyk, energetics, energetics, Matty K energetics @gmail.com. I have an Instagram account. I've never posted on it. One of these days, Dr.
You were very
Dr.
like
Matty K.
Yeah, you're very by referral, and your work, because you've done some stuff on me, is absolutely mind blowing.
But now I have Facebook, which is Matty K with a picture of a dragon, and that has.
But you're so in demand, you don't even need this. I feel like you'd be too in demand.
You can follow me. You don't have to be friends.
Yeah, you guys definitely.
All my people are referral based.
Yeah. So he's definitely great. If you are having trouble manifesting or if you feel blocked in any way, you can email him. If you're in New York City, you can go to his office, which is unbelievably amazing. He got rid of knee pain. He straightened. It's just unbelievable, all this stuff.
And I do virtual work.
But if you're not in New York City, you can do a Zoom with him. So thank you so much for being here.
And then for people who don't want the time commitment or the money commitment, I have the Magical Tuesdays program.
Yep, so check that out for sure. But we need to get into our bonus, because we're going to do the bonus meditation before, because I know you guys are going to love this. So, Matty, thank you so much for being here.
Welcome.
And if you guys can stick around after we end this show and after our music, we will get into the bonus meditation. So I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate everyone wherever you are listening. We couldn't do it without you. Please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, so we can continue bringing you amazing episodes. We will see you next time to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.
Okay, we are welcome to our bonus session. This is going to be an 11-minute meditation, so please silence your phone and listen to our expert guru who is going to guide us through this meditation. And for those of you, I don't meditate. I don't like to meditate. I don't know fucking how to meditate. But we're going to do this. He says it's simple. So if I can do it, I think you can too. All right, Matty, take it away.
So I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. And this meditation I loved, especially in the beginning. It is so powerful. It's so simple, and it gives your mind something to do. I'm not asking you to concentrate on your breath.
Okay.
Or taking you through some guided walk to meet your spirit animal. Okay. So sit up nice, and you can do this in a chair.
So just guide me.
So you can sit up in your chair, and you're going to make a cup with your hands.
Do I need to close my eyes?
Not yet.
Okay.
Make a cup with your hands. You're going to put it at your heart level, and make sure you're straight, as straight as possible. And with your eyes, you're going to look down into your cup. I'm just going to set my timer.
With my eyes, okay.
Actually, I'm just going to look at the clock here, okay? And so it's almost like your eyes are pointed straight down. Your head is straight. Your eyes are pointed straight down. You're going to, so your head is straight. So chin back. There you go. Your eyes are pointed straight down because that helps the mind concentrate when your eyes are down. So it's almost like you're looking through your nose at your hands, like this. And then you're going to breathe in through your nose a negative thought. And you might have 10 of them coming at you at once.
Breathe in a negative thought, okay.
And then you're going to not like spit saliva, but spit air. You're going to spit out the negative thought. And we're going to continue with this. And it might be the same thought coming up over and over and over. It might be 10 thoughts at once. Let's set the timer here. We'll do a little shorter. So again, with each inhale, breathe in a negative thought. Keep your eyes focused on the cup. Oh, you're in your cup. Your right hand should be over your left. So the right should be inside the left.
What if I ran out of negative thoughts?
Well, that's what happens. So as best as you can, try and breathe in the negative thoughts and then spit them out. And in the beginning, you might find again that the same thought keeps coming, keeps recurring. Or maybe you have so many thoughts, which one should I choose? You can choose all of them. So breathe in the negative thought through your nose. Slow down the breath. And then spit out the negative thought.
I don't have a lot of negative thoughts.
That's good.
But I'm going to
keep... But your viewers might.
Okay.
And again, the first 5-6 minutes, you might have the same thoughts recurring. You might have a whole bunch of thoughts. It might just be the same one thought over and over and over. Could be a thought about the past, a thought about the present. Could be a future worry. Maybe something that doesn't even have anything to do with you. Just keep breathing. And the hand should be at the heart. Head straight, chin straight, eyes pointed down at the cup. Just your eyes, not your head. And keep going. And at a certain point, you might find that some of these negative thoughts start dissipating. They don't appear anymore. Or that recurring thought that keeps coming up over and over again, you're just sick of thinking about it, so you don't want to think about it anymore. But it may take a few minutes to get there, so there's no rush. And if at this point you still have a lot of negative thoughts coming up, or it's the same thought over and over, or the same group of thoughts over and over, like, don't worry, we still have plenty of time. Keep going. Just let the process unfold however it unfolds. Breathe in the negative thought through your nose. Spit it out into your cup. And this gives the mind something to do. Because usually that's where people fall off, because their mind starts going nuts.
Yeah.
Focus on the breath. So continue doing this for 11 minutes. And at the end of 11 minutes, you may find, again, the thoughts either drop away or you just don't want to think about those thoughts anymore. And then your mind goes clear. But at the very end, when you hit 11 minutes, focus on the very base of your spine. Imagine there's energy at the base of your spine, your tailbone, the very bottom, and imagine that energy goes all the way up your spine, kind of like a rod, like a straight rod. Imagine you have that energy stick, that energy rod going up your spine. And that will help kind of cement the effects of this meditation. And you can just sit with that visual for like a minute, maybe even 30 seconds. And then when you're done, relax.
So it was great. So yeah, do that type of meditation.
And that will help you
We
get
didn't
clear.
have the full 11 minutes, but set your timer for 11 minutes and then just breathe that in. What I found was that some of the self-doubt or worry, anxiety of the move had come up, but then I was wanting to get out of it because I was like, I'm done. I don't have a lot of negative thoughts. So maybe you don't need 11 minutes.
Some people don't. Once I started doing this often enough, I found that, by like the 5th minute, I was kind of good to go.
Okay.
But the main thing is, in terms of manifesting, is you're clearing away all the interference, all the static. Your subconscious, so your higher self, knows what you want, knows what you need. So now you get rid of all that doubt, all the negativity, and then boom, there's a meditation that I perform called Let the Self Take Care of Things, meaning that your higher self will kind of give you what you want, need, and deserve. But you do this, you get all the static out, and then watch what happens.
Perfect. You guys go check him out, email him. He will send you the meditations or where you can find them. But yes, thank you so much for sticking around for the bonus, and we'll see you next time to find out who's next.